Hello and welcome to Elimination Round 5. And on the left-hand side, we have Dave Hoyland, the intimidating Dave Hoyland, playing against Whizzard. On the right-hand side, we have the equally intimidating Chris Dyer playing as CTM. Also covering up the branded near-reading grid Matt with his puny national top 16 Matt.
Top 8 Matt.
Top 8 Matt. Oh.
Yeah. So congratulations after the end of that. Dave Sayer also got the top 8 Matt, but that is the only Red Ox player is now out of the cut, unfortunately, which
sadly,
is sad. But, you know, the fact we had a Red Ox player in the top 8 is pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. So.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure. Okay, so Dave and Chris are two of the very best
for sure.
that the UK has to offer. So it is a shame that we're going to have to say goodbye to one of them after this game, but it should be a very interesting game.
So Chris... Well, they both know the matchup and they know that Dave is big favourite now. So Dave is Siphon Wiz, clearly on Siphon, and therefore, if he can get on top of that CTM quickly, it's actually a great. He just goes tag me from turn 1, and it's actually a much stronger matchup for Dave than it is for Chris. So it's so that was sort of key in this is who got randomly generated to play, so we'll have to see.
The pairing is
when you've got players as great as this, they can win bad matchups. So it's
sure.
it's definitely possible. So they're just setting up.
Jump in. We're going to be joined very shortly by guest commentator Alex White, for now the reigning UK national champion. So crack on that. You can speak quite close to close like this.
Sitting like this, yeah.
And we are live, so I'll introduce you. Hello, Alex White. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thank you.
Good. All right. How was your day yesterday?
Not good, sadly.
Not great.
One of my worst tournaments in a while, actually.
Oh, no, that's a shame.
5 and 5 and drop, but you can't win everything. So, but I'm glad I didn't want to quit Netrunner in a rage. I'm back commentating.
Okay, good. Okay, so we've got Dave on Siphon Wiz against what I imagine is a fairly standard CTM list. What should we watch out for in this matchup? Go on.
So this is pretty interesting because if you were just kind of to approach this matchup, you might think that it's very good for the yellow deck because Dave is playing Siphon Wiz and obviously Chris is playing CTM with plenty of tag punishment. But apparently what they found in testing is that the Whizzard deck is very, very good at staying on top of the CTM deck. So if he just trashes everything and keeps siphoning, Chris only has so many closed accounts or all-seeing eyes or exchange of informations in his deck. And Dave also has Keyhole, which mitigates exchange of information. So the game plan for Dave is going to be just to stay on top with siphons and trashing everything. And just...
It's also down to how many information overloads are in the deck as well. I think Chris was running one, but I think he might have dropped it before last night and decided not to run it, which I think is huge because that can really... a well-timed information overload against a Tag Me Anarch can be really destructive. So
it's true, it just doesn't do all that much against everyone else, so it's a risky proposition.
Okay, so mulligan both sides, was it?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right, interesting.
But we're underway now, so let's see what Chris does.
So, I mean, I'm guessing Dave was mulliganing for Siphon.
Yes.
And I'm guessing Dave was mulliganing for an end-run piece of ice for
Chris,
Siphon. Well, that's a good start.
So, instead of 2 remotes and remote, Ice HQ, it depends on what the remotes are, but if you got Sensi or Bankers or anything like that, it's going to be off to a great start. Whizzard obviously, is going to be able to pressure these remotes.
And if he's going tag me from the off, then
that's
the question.
The question is, does he go tag me from the off? You've got to bear in mind, Dave's got Day Job in his deck, which is a very good card to sit on for a bit. So yeah, you may well just delay it a bit. But Bankers and Senses are so good that if that's what gets res clear, he may well just go tag me from the start.
If he's going to finish tag me, does he fight the tags at the start at all?
Maybe
he does.
No, he trashed it.
So he's going to run and trash the pad. Okay, so it looks like he's going to be on a fairly strong denial plan.
I think he checks the other remote.
And he's going to take a tag. All right, so that's the answer to that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, Chris only has so much tag punishment in his deck.
Yeah, okay, so we've got Bankers, which is a much higher priority to crush.
We're getting confirmation. The stream is up, which is always good to hear.
It's good to know we're not wasting our words.
Oh, don't worry. We chatted for a good 20 minutes in the first round before we realised that our commentary wasn't coming through. So me and Joe were just having a great chat about the IG Whizzard matchup between Mark and Dave before we realised that no one was listening.
All right, so we've got Run R&D, we see a hard-hitting news. That's quite a big one. He's going to draw it now. We may even see it played this turn. Actually, does he bother?
He might not bother. He's not super rich, bear in mind, so even the 3 credits for the hard-hitting news is probably not that appealing.
That's true. There's already a tag. So Whizzard already has a tag, and 1 tag is fine. I mean, psychographics may be a thing, but...
Yeah, so he's got to think about psychographics. He's also got to think about what strength he wants his resistors to be at. Now, it might actually be less than 5 because of David, but he might just want to power up his resistors.
Well, I think they're going to get to 5.
They will.
They
and
will.
Dave has Dave has Davies in the deck, but he also has Eater and stuff, so it will be annoying for them.
Yeah.
But you can also trace through, right? If he gets in poor.
You can.
The trace,
could
if
trace
you can
through.
siphon him, then...
If he siphons...
So here's the thing. If you want to siphon through a resistor paying the trace, it only means that the siphon's a denial card. You're no longer gaining money, because if they need to, they'll just pump all their money into the trace.
That means that that's a key.
So we've got a run on HQ with no res, and he stole a breaking news. I wonder... so Chris declined to res. I'm assuming there's not a lot in there.
Because he wants siphon...
Or
siphon protection.
Maybe he wants to res it to surprise during a siphon run.
Yeah, and to not give up the info.
Sensei, I think that's worth trashing, yeah.
Trashing from hand as Whizzard against CTM is really good.
Yeah.
It doesn't trigger the ability.
That's right. Hard-hitting news, okay. We know about that.
Hard-hitting news is probably one of the defining cards of this tournament. I think it's cost.
Yeah, that's true.
A hugely important part of the field.
Yeah, I mean, I was playing networking in Anarch yesterday.
Yeah, so. Exactly.
Okay. Oh, what was that? Is that a full art card?
Looks like a promo of some kind.
Yeah,
I can't tell what it
that's
is.
so hard to tell.
He's having to think, though, so I imagine it's an asset.
Yeah. What full art promo assets are there?
Jackson.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's the World Champ.
The World Stake Jackson. Yeah.
Really, really, really nice. Yeah, so Jackson's a great one to get out of the game. Dave's on Keyhole, as is multi-access, not medium. So Jackson's obviously huge.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Jackson's, is one of the key cards. I'm assuming there's 3 in the deck, but being able to get one a bit early.
Yes,
I was playing 2 Jackson yesterday. What scrub? Yeah. There's no noise. Joey, do you know there's no noise now?
I've got noise with me today, actually. If I wasn't doing this, I'd be testing noise. 3 rumour mill.
I would still never play less than... I don't even leave the house without 3 Jackson Howards nowadays.
Yeah, but I've got a card that says Jackson Howard is blank now.
No.
It's amazing.
Let's not talk about rumour mill.
I don't even care what else it does. It just says if the current just said blank Jackson, I'd probably play it in noise. That's all it says.
So Whizzard runs and trashes Sensei, which is kind of an automatic decision. He's going to take more tags. I think he's just tagged now.
Yeah, well,
yeah, so Resistor,
he's on
there's
6,
a few problems.
So
there are a few key tag numbers to consider still,
yeah.
yes. I think the magic number's 13 for a Psycho Bill for 7.
Yes,
yeah.
But I mean, with breaking users and things,
yeah,
even 11 or 9 can be a serious problem. It's getting him poor enough to not be able to do it is the key.
Does Chris consider that as out? Maybe he's keeping this ice unresed just to try and fight a siphon if a siphon comes in, and he wants to get up to 13 credits. I don't know, float some stuff out to force Dave to get up to 30 tags and then do that. Yeah. You can at least finish, or you can get 6 points of a BL and finish with the breaking news. No,
it's fairly common for these yellow decks. If they can turn the corner on the Siphon decks, they no longer need to try and win as long as they're playing Psychographics. They just wait for the game to win itself because of Psychographics. So it does mean that he no longer has... Because sometimes with these HB decks, even once they recover from Siphon, they don't have the time to actually win the game.
Sure.
Yellow doesn't have that problem.
How many Psychographics would be in a deck like this? No more than one. Just one, okay.
I don't know for sure.
Ed Kim for the win.
But I would guess I would guess that he is running just the one.
Yeah, I can't imagine a lot. So that was an EOI, which is relevant. If Dave steals a GFI, what does he do? Frame jobs?
No. I think frame jobs great tech, but I don't think Dave is running it.
I wish I'd had one in my Val yesterday. I didn't run one, but in Val it would have been really useful.
It's a great card, but he's got Keyhole Wink on, so that mitigates the EOI a lot, but Chris may also be able to bait him into stealing it somehow.
So if his win condition is Keyhole, he just waits until there are 3 GFIs in the bin or something, right?
And then he just runs and wins.
Of course. It's not that score. What we getting?
It's currently 1-0.
It is.
Breaking news is a good one to get out of the game. So unlike the sync decks, these CTM decks do not run quantum predictive model, so Chris's agendas don't protect themselves.
So still an Astro, okay. Scott Big, is he going to go back? Okay, all right, Joey, I'm on it.
The hardest part of commentary is updating.
Well, because we actually don't see the stream you guys see, so we are seeing it without the score, so we sometimes just forget that you guys can see the score.
Do our production behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's on 3 points. I mean, at this point, he's just willing to get the accesses. He hasn't played a Siphon. In fact, he hasn't played anything more than a Short Gamble. So, okay, a wrap. So that's going to pose some problems. Each obviously no good.
David is his only
answer. So David is the only answer for a wrap. But you really want to save
those for
every David
counter that could get to 10 strength.
Yeah, it's so precious.
Yeah.
But it might be worth it if he's got it in. So let's say if he's got it in hand now, does he drop it and run again? He'd be quite eager to see.
My instinct is yes, but I'm not Dave Hoyland.
I think he only had 1 click. So anyway, but if he had,
if you don't, yeah.
I'd be interested to see what it is. Just pad. Okay, so maybe he's trying to bait a run, or he's going to set it up for the future.
I think he's pretty happy to actually have that pad.
Or
rolling.
he's super poor. Yeah,
he just wants to make some money, which is fair.
So one thing to think about with pad campaign is that if it can get him up to 1 credit on his turn if he gets siphoned. He can then play sweeps. He can install a global food initiative and psycho it out. So that the difference between 0 and 1 credits can be very relevant because of sweep.
Well, that sort of shows you the difference in the matchup, doesn't it? When as CTM you have to protect a pad campaign against a match. Normally, like your ability Like you don't even you get away with political assets. People still don't even trust them.
Yeah.
Oh, 5 points.
So there's Jackson on R&D and he ran trash and saw a Beal. This is an Archangel, which there's not any point firing.
There's potential for Archangel to actually hurt Chris in this matchup if Dave just had
David. David and runs it.
Because he can just keep making pit
Merchant
Yeah,
Bankers,
that's
you've got trash. So he trashed the Merchant Bankers, which is an automatic decision.
Putting down a Bankers is just trading a click for a click. And a tag.
Yeah.
And a tag, which is Dave has to be a bit careful about how many he takes, but not really at the speed he's going.
No, I've always wondered whether or not runners should consider clearing down to 10 tags or something for Psycho, but I've literally never seen anyone do it.
Yeah. So Chris,
because they've also got enough spare advance.
Credits now.
People sometimes forget you can still advance after you. The whole Psycho combo only takes 2 clicks to score.
Yeah.
So you actually need to.
It's 12 tags if you've got an extra click. Yeah.
No, I think you rely on speed to fix it. So. Okay, so Chris is in a bit of a hole here.
He is, and exchange of information is now even worse than it was before.
Yeah,
because
it really
global
is
food
hard if they don't steal the global food.
Not
It's
going to
really
do anything.
tough.
I mean, swapping a 1-pointer for that Beal or something is okay because it might take Dave off match point, but you're not excited. Oh, Peddler! Didn't know Dave was running Peddler in his deck.
Survivor's no good. He can run an Archangel. It's fine. I would love an Archangel. In my game, run out a Peddler with a levy, a hostage, and makers on it. But
So he.
Wait a sec, I'm just gonna
let's get out Vigil.
Yeah, so that Tolbooth doesn't hit him.
We've got
That was just an announcement about nothing in particular.
we've got to cut the audio during the event-wide PAs because there's one of the speakers directly above us, which is because there's a speaker directly above everything. So yeah,
I'm sure
it's
the
super
audience
loud.
at home are very excited to hear about.
Yeah,
The fact that we're not allowed to vape as I sit here vaping inside. It's all right. Yesterday.
no ranting.
Okay.
No, sorry.
I'm not allowed to talk about vaping or IDs. I'm banned.
Okay, so we've got a Vigil. Is that interesting? Because Chris is kind of pressured on hand.
It's going to give him a lot of cards, I would say.
So he can force him to install, so he does get a Vigil draw.
That Tolbooth on R&D, by the way, we didn't really talk about because it was happening during the announcement, but that is very important.
That's pretty huge, yeah. And it was expensive to res, but it's very worth it. It's still incredibly taxing for Eater.
I think Dave avoided the toll though. Dave avoided toll by installing the Vigil. So
That was good.
yeah.
The thing about Tolbooth is it's a big piece of ice, so it's taxing for Eater. David can break it, but it still costs you money. Sometimes these Siphonanic decks end up poor in the late game, but they can still David through, and that doesn't cost them anything. Tolbooth gets around that. So, like, closed accounts is way more relevant when there's a booth res.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. Even with David and stuff, yeah.
Yep. Tolbooth's the best of both worlds. That's why it costs 8.
Yeah, it is expensive.
Yeah, I realised in my yellow decks that when you're running Assassin, you're like, wait a minute, for 1 more credit card as Tollbooth, and it's actually better most of the time. It's just,
and I don't believe Dave is running Ice Destruction, but who knows? Dave puts
maybe.
Weird cards in his deck in his time, so...
Yeah, I'm not sure. So Chris still frantically trying to money up. I think this might be his plan. If he can get high... yeah, okay, so closed accounts is huge, like you say. I wonder if we're going to see a Siphon from Dave at some point. Do you think he wants to get the Eater before he tries it?
Oh,
This HQ Ice can almost certainly be res now.
He has to get to 4 credits to install an Eater.
I'm assuming it's a wrap
hard.
or... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he can't now. I'm assuming this HQ Ice is a wrap or vanilla or something. Is that reasonable?
Probably. It could just be a Data Raven that he put there as a bluff.
Yeah, that's true. It was turn 1, yeah.
If he takes credits this turn and then he day jobs next turn, then the turn after he can drop an Eater and Siphon. But that's how long it will take him to get ready to do that.
And day job is so vulnerable now because if their close accounts comes out.
Sure, but he's going to need 4 to drop the...
Yep.
Yeah, he's 4 and then probably at least 5 to guarantee being able to get in.
Yeah,
it's
very, very rough. And also, he's got to keep checking remotes, because if a Jackson comes out, then, well, you can run R&D for a single access, but is that how you're winning this game? Oof.
I'd love to know what that was on.
I'd bet money it was Account Siphon.
Yeah, Account Siphon's probably a reasonable one.
But I could be wrong. We were talking yesterday about how...
We can find out for sure.
If you play targeted marketing against...
Can you find out what the Tarmar was on? Yeah, that's my guess too.
So I was
we're going to find out.
Joking to Chris yesterday that you put down targeted marketing, you name Dave Hoyland, and it's implied that it means Account Siphon.
It's on. It's on Peddler. Siphon. Tim.
Rolling
I'm reliably
us.
informed it's on account Siphon, that good card. So, yeah, that seems pretty reasonable.
So not doing the Ben Nee plan of having all of your targeting marketing targets with you. So he put
Ben Nee
a
in his
card
previous plan
on it.
took a card out of his deck box and just put it on. So good for stream.
What a classy man.
I know.
And not only was that amazing, it was a tech trader against Geist. He brought every card he could possibly want to target in marketing with him. Ben Nee.
Ben Nee not winning. Ben Nee's out of the cut, right?
Yeah,
Ben Nee not winning Nationals is a bit of an injustice, if you ask me.
Not even making top 4. Like he's I think right now, current meta, Ben Nee is in the top 4 players in the country. He deserves to be in that top 4.
He's very strong.
Chris was my other pick to win Nationals though, and he's still looking okay. So that's something.
Yeah, I mean this is a hard road though in a top 16.
I would take either
road.
of these two to win the whole thing. So the fact they're meeting now is
But they've got to win. They've got to win this one more after this, and then 2 in the final. So they need to win this game and then 3 more on the trot. So
they've got
tough.
yeah, that's right. They've got to win 4 games in a row after this game.
These 2 players can do that.
They can do
Yeah,
that.
either of these two could.
The
it's
losers
tough, you're
bracket
right,
in a
it's
top
tough,
16 is.
Okay, so we've got the same old thing. I wonder if that's going to be. I'm not sure. I mean, Siphon's the obvious thing to use it for, but
Yeah.
not with
you
Tar.
can't give them 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You can't give them 10 credits.
So access an EOI. So
It's just getting closer and closer to it. Like you could psycho. A psycho
so
is
yeah, Chris now
potential.
up to 11 credits, and Dave has 8 tags.
So
Wow.
the question is what that HQ ice is, because there is still a way. Like Dave could still win this game if it's like a Data Raven or a Turnpike or something. Chris draws an agenda and just has nowhere to put it, and then Dave snipes it out of HQ.
That's
true?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming there's at least one agenda in HQ. Dave checked the bin a little while ago as well, just in case Chris is being crafty. But
So now
it must
Dave-
be he's very lucky that he's not got agendas yet. I'm amazed. Although Dave's pulled a few.
Dave did take them off the top of R&D.
That's true.
But yes, you're right, and he can afford to give away a breaking news, so that's something.
Yeah, I think Dave's going to be very careful now because he knows how many tags he can have. So he's just going to be careful to stay under that amount and to try and give himself a bit more time, get a bit more agendas, a few more agendas into the game. You've also got to remember, I mean, Dave has stolen the Beal. So he also needs a Beal and a Psychographics and Dave to be on 13 or 12 technically, and you to have 13 credits. So
Chris,
or we could see the classic double Psycho play. What do you reckon?
yeah, so he could shuffle Psychos in with Jackson.
He can do 7 and then 6.
Yeah.
If he's got 2 Psychos.
He could also just try and put Dave in a hole, try and run him out of David tokens, and then score behind some piece of ice.
Yeah, that's true. So, for instance, if now there's a David on the board, this wrap remote is looking a bit less confident if he decides to jam something in. But if he can tax him out, maybe on R&D with David, more closed accounts. See, this is it. Closed accounts are so good.
Closed accounts
is tag me. Yeah.
a huge part of the thing that keeps these tag me depths ticking, because it stops the runner once their tag's still forming a plan that beats you.
Should Chris be tempted to trash the same old thing? I mean, he could. I guess it depends. He thinks the only thing he's going to use it on is.
You can't use it on
so
Siphon.
he's kind of happy for him to play Siphon.
Yeah, he can't same old day job. I mean, he can same old Shore Gamble, which is like a tiny. It's like
that's not
marginally
great.
better than picking for credits.
Same old deja vu.
Playing Siphon?
No.
Right.
I think there's a lot of events in this. Oh wait, I've just remembered. He's one of the 2 players who gave me his list. So let me find out.
That would be useful. But yeah, with that Tarmar still on Siphon, I mean, maybe he still's a breaking
Did he
news.
just play Siphon or discard Siphon?
He's got a retrieval run as well.
He
That's
must
about
be-
the only other. Planned
I'm sure
assault.
he discarded it.
You don't plan assault. I've had worse inject. Yeah, you don't play these.
Same old.
He's got
Destruction.
cutlery as
No,
well.
dude,
Oh, he has one of each
siphoned.
cutlery.
He siphoned him.
He's got one of
He
each
has
colour.
siphoned him.
He's
Okay.
played Siphon.
For 10 credits.
Oh, because the closed accounts just came out.
Yeah, so he just siphoned him. He didn't res.
He's
So he
siphoning him
took
as
2 more
econ.
tags and
So does he same old Siphon? No.
no. Well,
doesn't
he
help.
would still leave him. He would still leave Chris on almost enough money to psycho out.
So that tag number is also up to date, is it? Is that 8?
10.
Is that 10?
maybe
That is
more.
10. I'm sorry, it's 10. Yeah, no, you're right.
That's a good play by Dave.
I can't count.
Post closed accounts to play the Siphon.
Yeah, I mean,
it's giving Chris
tough.
money.
There's
It's
not
making
much you can
him
do about
money.
that.
Like it's important for him to get.
It's
a lot of
giving
money,
it's
but-
giving Chris 5 and giving you 10, which seems like a good deal. But the 2 tags might be relevant.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So what is this ice on HQ? I mean, maybe he was happy to be siphoned there because it means Dave is gaining tags, Chris is gaining money.
But if he can block this Siphon, it's even better, because then Chris still gains the 10.
That's true. He still gains the 10. Is it more useful for Chris that Dave gains
Gains
2
the tags, potentially, yeah.
Yeah, he chose not to res the ice.
Yeah,
What is that?
So that's telling.
What could it be that he doesn't want to res at this point?
Well,
Unless
it's whatever he
wants to
drops.
allow
It's whatever he
siphons.
dropped turn 1. I think it might have been that he might have the psycho in hand, and so
Right, it's resistor,
there we
a strength
are.
10 resistor. So okay, David obviously works, and it's a trace. Although Chris has a lot.
so
of
he was
money.
only trying to stop the run. He didn't stop the siphon, but he stopped the run.
So that
Just
suggests
telling.
there might well be a Beal in hand. I feel like that does anyway. I feel like there might be a Gens in hand. If you allow the
Yep.
siphon but prevent the access.
So the trace is
single
firing.
access.
Will Dave play?
So he can trace. I forget the base strength of resist off the top of my head.
4.
4. Okay, so no link, of course. So
This
he
is
could play
huge. This
3-4.
could be how Dave wins the game.
I'm not sure if
Doesn't
Chris
gender
would
in hand.
boost it. I'm not sure if Chris is going to boost it.
He's deciding whether to David first, right?
He can David.
Every David counter is so precious, especially with that Ice and Archive slot
So he's
retrieval.
actually just going to bounce. Okay. I've had worse. Interesting.
So 10 tags means he can't. Chris can't win. It's 12, right? 12 would be the number.
Oh, this has got 2 psychos. As I said.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or shuffles in the
Let's
Jackson.
assume that's not the case. All right, so we've got an eater anyway. So I wonder if we're going to start seeing keyhole. It's not super likely, is it? against
We
the
also
toll
might see
booth?
knifed on that resistor. That may well be why Dave bounced. Planted
Yeah.
and
Do you
knifed.
risk a spoon on R&D? Maybe not, because there could
So it
easily
costs
be
a lot of money.
There could easily be a quandary or something.
There we are. There's the Psycho.
So he's got the psycho. Has he got another psycho? No.
So he can get to 6, right?
Okay, so he's got 6, which is totally reasonable. He's got 4 counters on the bill, so it's 6 points.
No,
which
3
means-
counters on the bill.
He's
No,
got
4 counters on the bill.
on the
yeah.
bill, which means he's on 6 points, which means he only needs a breaking news to win.
One
If he
breaking
has it in
news away.
hand, he can get it.
And
So-
it gets rid of the Beal. I mean, if you had a non-Beal agenda there, you would still consider psychoing it just to protect it.
But if that's your only psycho,
You Jackson's
that might be your out. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I think he didn't want to risk. So it looks like Dave might consider not going any higher than this. I mean, he may not bother now, but he
Yeah.
didn't want to hit 13. He knew it was a risk.
But so he left it on 10, but that was maybe one too many.
I mean, it meant Chris had to use psychographics and still spend a credit advancing.
Yeah,
and
so it was 11
solid-
credits. So
yeah.
you couldn't go one more than that, and so 11 credits is enough for the 6-point deal.
Yeah.
So, and that is really if he'd say one below, being a 5-point deal is nowhere near as good because
No.
you have to score an agenda then, like
Yep.
a hard one to score. Whereas now there is still 2
Yep.
breaking news in the bet deck. So
Yeah, 2 cards in Chris's deck that say if you have 2 credits, win the game.
yeah, and that could be in hand.
be.
Yeah, he has to top deck it as well.
Because you
he
would
could-
score that
He could
first.
aggressively draw and hope that Dave. I mean, Dave can David in if he thinks that there's breaking news in hand.
I mean, David had to score the Beal first.
I don't know. It's a good question.
The-
We might be approaching time, actually. That's a good point.
Jesus.
It started about 1 o'clock. So currently, Chris is winning on time. He's got 6 points to 5. So I wonder if that's one of the reasons why he decided to do that.
It's worth
Sure.
considering. So now
But
it's
also, if
trying
he
to
had the
snipe.
breaking news in hand, it doesn't win the game.
I think we're at 45 minutes. Yeah. That's up to you.
I don't want this game to end on
The
time.
TO has asked me how long is left.
This game has been fascinating.
So
I picked a
think
good one
we
to jump in on.
Yeah, they may well call time very shortly. That'd be quite interesting. I'm not sure what happened in the other. It looks like the other game's also going on. We definitely started at 1. Oh, we might have started a bit after.
We might have started late. I don't know.
These CTM decks can go very, very long.
There's certainly very little time left anyway.
So yeah, if Chris did have the breaking news, I don't think he'd have scored it because it's not the win to Dave if he steals it, and also Dave could always just clear a tag and make that more difficult.
Yeah.
Archangel's tough.
There's an Archangel tax David, I think. So presumably
Yes,
we're
of
going to
course.
lose 3 credits.
Is there going to be a 2-pointer on top?
Going to access GFI.
Oh, Skate.
Oh, Jesus.
That was. Did he have breaking news in hand? He
Wow.
did not have GFI in hand. Okay. So
Wow.
David kept missing it.
Dave just
Wow.
single accessed every one of those agendas in his
Wow.
score area. Just poked them out of HQ or off the top of I believe 3 of his agendas came off the top card of R&D.
That was so close for Chris. Like for what was a terrible matchup for him, he got very close.
He used his magical powers to work out when there are R&Ds.
How many of Dave's agendas were off
R&D?
R&D? Was it 3?
I want to say all of them.
Because I think he got
I
like
don't think he pulled one at hand.
he got like 5 R&D accesses and like 4 of them were agendas.
Yeah,
that's-
he poked a few times. You might have seen more than that. But he trashed off with Whizzard as well.
He did trust stuff, yeah. It's still rough for Chris though.
But yeah, wow, that was a close game.
Yeah, it was incredible.
So we
Really
are.
explosive.
So we're going to have a very short break, I expect, turnaround. Although the other game's still playing, so we're going to wait and we're going to see Dave continue then. And he will play against the winner of
Theo Tagore.
the other loser bracket game, which is Theo Tagore.
So we're
It
down
looks
to
like
one
they're
game
still
at a time now till the end. So we'll just be picking
playing. Yeah,
the one game
at
that
a
is
time
left.
now,
So
all the way through.
Cool.
we will see you again shortly.
See you around 6.